I'm Teisha Bader. Thank you for joining me. As we all know, these are difficult days for the state of Israel and for the Jewish people as a whole. It is also, though, a time where we are seeing a surge of Jewish pride and unity. And when we see those who have a platform use it to share some of this pride, it is truly a boost of support, of positivity, of strength, knowing that we are not alone. Well, my guest today does just that with his very knowing stand-up comedy, which is truly a celebration of what it is to be Jewish. The good,
Thank you.
the good, the bad, and the very funny. Modi Rosenfeld, or just Modi as he is known, is a loud and proud Jewish comedian, his Jewish identity front and center of his comedy, allowing us to laugh even in these very dark times. He is currently
Very
performing.
nice. Oh my God, you're still going.
I'm still going.
Wow, wow.
He's currently performing across the.
This is a hesped. This is a eulogy.
No,
eulogy.
God forbid, God forbid.
Oh my God.
I'm going to plug your tour. He is touring across the United States, Europe, Israel, and beyond. Take a look.
We recently did 23andMe. You all know what that is, the Ancestry Test. Yes. One of the biggest waste of monies you can. All my friends did it. We all did it together, pulled in our results, and it was, first of all, I was in shock my friends wanted to do it. Because all of my friends are those people that are afraid of their security being breached. You have friends like this? My phone hears everything I'm saying. I just think of something and I get an ad for it. Which, by the way, is my favorite feature of the phone. If I need something, I grab my phone and think it into it. 16-inch toilet seat cover, off-white, oval. In 2 minutes, Home Depot sends you an ad. You hit the button, somehow they already have your credit card on file. And before you go pishy again, it's on the toilet. And by the way, when my friends leave the room with their phones behind, I grab their phones and say, hemorrhoids, hemorrhoids. How do I know if I have a hemorrhoid? Put the phone down, let them figure it out. So my friends who are afraid of a targeted ad had no problem sending their DNA out all over the world to be uploaded into databases. And the results came back and they were amazing, amazing. My friends were getting back these pie charts. 1/8 Navajo Indian. 1/4 Iberian, Celtic, Norwegian, African. I was so excited. I opened mine up. It said 99.8% Jewish. That was it. The pie chart was a matzo ball with a toothpick in it.
Modi, thank you so much for being here. Now I can finally give you a chance to speak. I'm so sorry. That was a very long introduction.
It was a long introduction, but it was very sweet. You phrased it very, very well. I usually just prefer, you've seen him on your phones. Here's Modi, but
here he is.
No, but you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Yes. Know your audience is out, and it's on YouTube, so it's free for everybody. And I really ask that the young people help somebody who's older, that doesn't know how to make it happen on their TV. Help them do that. That's just create a little bit of Mashiach energy with somebody who's not tech savvy, and help them watch the special, sit with them, laugh with them. That's the energy that we need.
Okay, so let's talk about that. How does comedy fit into these days? Because it is tough, as you know. It is sad every day. We have terrible news. We are waiting for the hostages to be free. There is so much to be sad about, to be challenged by. How does your show, how does comedy in general fit? Where does it go? Is it okay to laugh?
Okay, so my new tour is called Pause for Laughter, because in all of this chaotic watching a war on your phone and listening to people protest on whatever side you're on for whatever issues and however you've come to, just take a pause and laugh and come see a comedy show and bring some friends. Be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show. Again, that creates Mashiach energy, and comedy fits into what's happening now. I had no choice. The war broke out on October 7th. I was in Israel after doing a tour, and we had a flight that day to Paris for 4 shows in Paris that were sold out. Now, this was like October 10th. Do you understand how people were still in the receiving information of what's happening, and I had to go do a show. I did it. And the people, it was insane watching people on their phones watching a war. The lights go off and the curtain goes up. But they had that laugh for an hour and a half. And I've been singing, since that day, I've been singing Hatikva at the end of every show, just because you've had this hour and a half of laughter in the time you feel maybe you don't have to, you're not allowed to. Now we just settle in and remember our hearts, our souls, our prayers are with Israel. So I do that by singing Hatikva. And people who aren't Jewish love it.
You give me chills because it means a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot. And also I feel like, okay, I can watch Modi and I can laugh because without feeling too guilty, okay? As Jews, we feel guilty because it is, as I said, such a celebration of what it is to be Jewish. It's funny, and it's also just, it's like this warm hug from somebody who knows you.
Yes. People who are Jewish, when people who aren't Jewish watch my special or my show that's touring now, for them, it's a portal into the Jewish world through pride and laughter. Jews watch it and they're seeing it on another level. You know, they see it, yes, everything is understandable to people who aren't Jewish, but people who are Jewish see it on another level. Like when Latinos go see John Leguizamo, they get it on another level. We see it. We love watching it. We have our eye in it, but you know, the Latinos see John Leguizamo as their kind of a spokesperson, and so the Jews do get an extra you know, and I love that, and I do it with pride. It should just be pride and happiness and laughter.
It is a whole different experience, as you said, when you're Jewish to see your show, and as a non-Jew, I'm sure it's a different experience too, and it is so enjoyable. You see your interaction with people who are not Jewish in the audience, and it's adorable and sweet and funny, and also done in a very lovely, kind, and embracing way.
Thank you. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Have you ever had negativity in your audience?
We haven't had any hecklers. We've been very fortunate. We've had very high security at shows. When we were touring through, we did Berlin, Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, Vienna, Amsterdam. I call it the reparations tour. But we had a lot of security. The France, wow, Paris, they gave us a tank in literally a tank. Like it was this vehicle that would look like from a sci-fi movie with soldiers, and they were very, very sweet. And so we have not had any bad heckling and things of that sort at the show.
How about on social media? I know you have a wonderful following. And again, I don't want to focus on the negative, but I'm just wondering if you ever face comments and how you deal with them.
Luckily, I have my husband, Leo, who runs everything from A to Z. You and I wouldn't be talking if he didn't, whatever, in the emails and clicks and links and said, he runs it all. He tells me that there are a few negatives, very, very negatives. You know, we just posted our anniversary picture. We posted a picture of our anniversary. It has over 25,000 likes and such sweet comments, but some were a little mean and some were a little judgy and a little, I don't know, they were too religious to see such a picture. And we either delete them or we leave them, other people tell them off, you know, but we don't, that's not our main focus all day fighting online.
Yeah. Oh, Modi is gay, by the way. He's married to his wonderful husband, Leo, and an Orthodox Jew. So talk about all of that, how all that works as far as those who, you know, are maybe taken aback that this is, and again, you say this proudly during your shows, you talk about it. You are an Orthodox Jewish gay man.
100%, and I'm married to a man, and I talk about it because I'm so proud of all the work we do. I say to you, when you see me on your phone, when you see me at a show, it's because he put it together. it's Mashiach energy that he is in my life, and I'm reaching out to people all over the world, Jewish and non-Jewish. And I'm of course I'm proud, and I talk about it. And I'm an Orthodox Jew. I go to synagogue on Saturday. We have a kosher home. And it has nothing to do with anything. Him being in my life, me making sure the mezuzahs are kosher, putting on tefillin, have nothing to do with each other. It's I'm that, he's that. Together we're one soul, and we bring Mashiach energy all over the world. That's
I love
it.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you recently were part of an event at Eshel, which is a really important organization that does amazing work to specifically for those in the Orthodox Jewish community that are also LGBTQ, making sure that they feel connected and embraced. Talk a bit about what Eshel does and your part of that.
To be honest with you, I love Eshel. I'm learning more and more about them. I was never. I'm a member now. I guess I am in Eshel. We did this beautiful interview, and I learned about them. And they're basically helping other people feel the way I do. Just be a proud Jew and be you. And people who are coming from different backgrounds don't accept them, and God forbid makes them think that they're not good enough or they shouldn't be doing this stuff. They help them understand you are not alone. You want to be an Orthodox Jew, you want to daven and pray like an Orthodox Jew, and then you have one of the leaders there, this big rabbi, is married to a not Jewish black guy, and it's beautiful. They're functioning together. They're both thanking each other for their lives together, and they're helping others, and that's what it's about, helping others. Yeah.
Let's go back to you. So you were actually born in Israel and then moved to the U.S. as a young child. Just tell me a bit about that.
7 years old, we moved to New York. We lived in Long Island in the Five Towns before it became super religious. Like this was back in the day, and that's it. And obviously in the house we only spoke Hebrew. Grandparents, there was Yiddish.
Would you speak fluently?
What?
Yiddish.
I can get through. I do pretty well. I do pretty well. I impress myself sometimes. And in the house was only Hebrew. It was like growing up in an Israeli home, so the Hebrew's still there, and I go back and forth to Israel, but I do live in New York. I don't live in Israel. And
you were an investment banker for a while and then said, actually, comedy is my calling. How did that happen?
I was in investment banking, and I used to imitate the secretaries when I came home with my friends, and we'd go out, and they said, you should do it on stage. And then one of them booked an open mic night, and we did it on stage. And then one thing led to another night. And then a few years later, I left the bank and did comedy full time.
Wow. Did it just feel from that first night where you like, I think I belong here?
Yeah, it felt very good. And I had no intentions whatsoever of doing stand. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't like an idea of mine. I'd only seen comedy on HBO. I never went to a comedy club. And so it was a very special night. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know people, compare you to sort of like the Borscht Belt giants of Jewish humor. How do you feel about that? And how did you sort of find your voice? Or is this just kind of what came out of your mouth when you first started doing it?
First of all, what an honor to be considered amongst the giants of the Catskill comedians. One of the best, some of the best comedians in the world came from there. I was very funny because I caught the tail end of the Catskills. When I began doing comedy, it was 94. And there were just like 3 hotels left up there, but they were still functioning and having shows. And I would drive up there and do shows. Like there's the tail end of the Catskills. I caught it. And I was this 24-year-old kid, and I was watching Alan King and Freddie Roman and Mousy Lawrence and Stewie Stone, all these comics that people don't really know about. I feel like I've seen the whole world of comedy that others haven't seen, and I was very proud that was a part of my career in the beginning.
That's incredible. And it's a great homage to them, definitely what you're doing now. So this tour that you're on currently, the Know Your Audience tour, this started before October the 7th. Tell me sort of what the idea.
No, we were on tour October 7th. The tour during October 7th was called know your audience. And Pause for Laughter, what happened is now when we finished that and we shot the special and we released the special, now there's a new hour. It's called Pause for Laughter.
Got it.
But we were, when the war began, we were in the other tour. Now we're on different whole show, brand new show. And there's cities popping up all the time. So make sure if you're watching this, go to my website, modilive.com, and see if there's a show near you and get tickets. It's just good. It's very healing.
So does the Pause for Laughter tour touch on what happened on October the 7th, or how do you sort of?
I leave it alone until the end. Then I talk about anti-Semitism. I talk about how great the Jews have been throughout this war. Again, complete pride and just chizuk and just the strengthening of how great a nation we are, that what we've done to help Israel and soldiers and hostages. And then I sing a tikva at the end, and that's the show. But only at the end I bring up the war in a fun way, and then
in a fun way.
Yeah, in a fun way. There's a proper way too. There's a proper way. You're talking about hostages and soldiers and war and death. There's a way to angle it where the comedy is how the American Jews are helping, and how that's where you find the comedy. Nothing with actual, soldiers or hostages.
No, of course. And I think that, again, that brings up a really important point, and something I sort of mentioned in the introduction, is that there is that silver lining to what is happening now. We would have not asked for what is happening now in any way, shape, or form. However, it is, at the same time, we can acknowledge that there is this silver lining, this other side of the coin. And in Judaism, we see it all the time, right? When we mourn and we celebrate, these things are sort of married to each other, because this is our history, that there's been so much tragedy, there's been so much loss, and we survive. And so I think this concept of like, we mourn and we can also see how beautiful this coming together is.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The way people have come together, people on social media, the carpet where all the anti-Semitism was swept under is revealed. Now there's a cleaning going on. You understand what we're up against. People are coming together on levels that are up. There's those who just send a check. There's those who send whatever they can send. They go and they help. And there's those who are fighting it, like within Congress and within schools. The kids that are going to school, and they're feeling anti-Semitism. Parents are putting together groups that are fighting that. And you just keep hearing about it. You're hearing about it. There's the ones that are on social media. It's right in your face. But then there's the ones that are behind the scenes of this stuff, doing unbelievable work to protect Jews.
And again, those people who, like yourself, say, okay, I have a platform, I have a venue where I can speak to people, whether it's in person at your show, or, as you said, online, on social media, watching your show, maybe even just learning what it is a little bit more about the Jewish world, about the Jewish people. You're doing what you do, right?
Yep.
You're a comedian, you're doing comedy, and you are pointing it in a direction that, I feel like it helps to educate people. As you said, it really does provide a portal into the Jewish experience in a way that is not just funny, but it's a positive framework.
100%. Everybody runs their platform the way they want. There's Mike Rappaport, who's screaming and yelling and showing the anger of the Jews. There's your Noah Tishbis that are showing the history of everything. When they come on my page, on my social media, I want them to have a laugh. I'm not showing a bomb coming into a living room. I'm not showing what this politician said with that. I'm like, you're here. Here's a laugh. You can go scroll on to the next one. We'll tell you the history of what happened in Israel today, or 48 years ago, whatever their platform is. But whatever you do, you can do.
And like you said, you are providing a pause, a respite from.
A respite.
And again, that is still connected to what we're talking about. It's just another side, the other side of the coin, or just the sweet side, or the beauty that we're seeing at the same time as all the tragedy.
Yes. It pulled us together as a nation.
Well, we appreciate that so much, Modi. And
my pleasure.
It's an important role that you play, and I just hope you continue going forward and bringing that to people, Jewish, non-Jewish, all over the world, as you're doing. It does. It really gives us a boost. So thank you.
My pleasure, and I will keep doing it. And you do what you do. And please, everybody that's watching this, help whoever doesn't have a way to get to my special. Let them watch it. Let them have some laughs. Know your audience. It's on YouTube and Amazon. And touring, the Pause for Laughter tour. The cities all over. Go to modilive.com and the podcast, which is called And Here's Modi. That's also available anywhere you stream your podcast. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Modi. Be well. Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael Chai. Bye.